Hello and welcome to Gordita on a Mission with your host, Tisa Beltran. Hello. It has been a bit. I do apologize. Life has been pretty crazy and a lot. I feel like it's been that way for everybody. Currently, I'm sitting at my desk and I am working on homework. Well, taking a break, but I haven't even started, but I'm taking a break because I've been running around all morning. Uh, just a little update of what's been going on and in health wise for myself. This is so last week, 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago. So it's been a week and a half. I had a anxiety attack. It wasn't a breakdown. I had a huge anxiety attack. I am in perimenopause, as I've said before, and I have PMDD. I started my period and it was super heavy. I was going to work, taking care of myself, just going every day. I get to work. I've been getting really good at this sleep schedule. Going to bed getting into bed about 8 or 9, falling asleep, waking up at uh whatever time I would get up. 4:30. Yeah, 4:30, 4:45. I would get up, get dressed, go to work. I'd get to work 30 minutes early, or I would stop and get food. And so it was a good schedule that I was doing for 2 weeks. My period came. It was heavy. And I was doing good. You know, I was working. I'm getting the job. I'm on the phones because I just started a new position and 2, 3 weeks were all in the classroom learning the products, which I didn't really get because I can't be taught that way. I have to self teach myself certain things. That's why I do online schooling. And then I we started on the phones and I was doing good. I'm very confident in myself. This specific morning, it was a Thursday, I had a migraine. First, I went to Dutch Brothers and I got my free birthday coffee. And then at work, I all of a sudden got a migraine. It just started and I was like rubbing my head. Then all of a sudden, I forgot everything that I had learned and I forgot how to take phone calls. It was the most anxiety ridden thing. Of course, I had an anxiety attack. I messaged my soup and I said, "Hey, I'm having a migraine. Is it okay if I work from home?" And he said, "Yeah." I get home, I and I'm crying to my mom about this, the way that I'm feeling, and I'm not going to discuss the conversation of that, but and then I took a few calls. I forgot to clock back in. Like it was just hard. It was so hard that day. And I'm like, what are these feelings that I'm feeling? Why is this happening? I'm doing so well. I'm not anxious about anything. Like I was anxious about the learning part and having anxiety because it was a brand new job, but going in and I was doing great. Everything was perfect. I was doing really well. So I messaged my supervisor and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to he was a dick. I'm going to be 100 with you. He was a dick about it. I felt that I can't talk to a man about it because he's not going to understand at all. Sure, he may be married and might have a brand new daughter, but you're not going to understand what women go through. Sure, your experiences might be the same when it comes to anxiety, but you're not going to understand how fucked it is when somebody has PMDD or has PMS, period." So I let him know that I was going to go. I said, "Hey, I'm going to leave for the day. I'm going to go to urgent care. I don't feel good." And it's connected to my disorder. So he knows that I have explained to him that I have PMDD, explained to him a little bit what it was. But I'm sure he probably forgot because it's a whole new class. Who knows? So I went to urgent care. I was crying. I was trying to keep it together. I'm just full of anxiety. And I told the doctor and I told her, I said, "I've been trying really hard to work on my health." I said, "But then when I start working my health, something happens and it's like I hurt my body because I have fibromyalgia. So that acts up. So I get a flare." I said, "So when I'm trying to work on myself to be better, it flares up my body and I need to find a way to fix this. I said, and a lot of things happened last year. A lot of things have happened in the past 4 years and I'm dealing with it and I need to go to therapy. I need to set all these things up. So she prescribed me some anxiety pills that are not habitable, and set me up, gave me information about this place that she owns, and it's she owns it. She doesn't run it. She just owns it, and she has a doctor and a therapist there. And so I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I've been trying to get into other places, and I can't because it there's a waiting list for everywhere. Everybody's not taking new patients because so many fucking people are moving here, and it's fucking disgusting. I'm not going to even discuss about that right now, but so many people are moving here. So I said, there's a wait list. And she's like, well, here's this place. I own it, but other people run it, and there is no wait list. And I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, I need to get my ADA paperwork in because it's on the 11th. I said, but the place that I called doesn't have openings until like May. So she's like, here's the information, da 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 da. Next day, made the appointment. And I told the lady, I said, I need to have it soon because she was like, the next appointment is until April something. And I was like, I need to have my ADA paperwork in by the 11th. And she was like, okay, we'll do this. So I went to the doctor Tuesday. Oh, I got excused from work and I can work from home because of this ADA paperwork. Now, for myself, it is hard for me to accept the fact that I am disabled. Like, I can say, okay, I know I'm disabled. And then I don't make excuses for the way that I am because somebody that I was in a relationship with was like, you're making excuses. No, I'm not making excuses. I'm explaining. So, anyhow, like I'm just getting very, okay. So take it back. Breathe in. Okay. So went to the second doctor, got my appointment. She looked me over. I also somehow fucked my back up, and I don't know how. It could have been from the anxiety attack that I was so tense that it made my muscles in my back have a spasm. She checked me over and she's like, you have a spasm in my back. I can feel it on the right side. And so she gave me medication for that, ibuprofen and a muscle relaxer that I take at night. Because during the day, I fuck myself up no matter what I'm doing. So I've been working from home now. I went to the doctor. She faxed in my paperwork for the ADA so that I can work from home. And I've been just doing the best that I can. And that's true. I'm doing the best that I can to get through. And with the past couple of years of this healing journey that I'm on, I've realized a few things about myself, like I've said. And so the therapist that I'm going to see this week, I scheduled the appointment, did her thesis on autism and ADHD. So this is where I'm going to start. And so I've been working from home. Friday, I took 2 hours early off, and it was my niece's wedding. And it was just crazy. It was super crazy. It was my niece's wedding, and we had to. I got fucking ready quick. Because I got off at 12:30, but I was on a call, and it took a little bit longer. And I went to get gas, and my mom called me and was like, both of your brother's trucks have nails in the tires. I said, I'm on my way back after I get gas. And she's like, well, one of your brothers said that he's going to drive no matter what. I was like, no, what if the fucking tire pops? There's so many scenarios, and it's our niece's wedding. No, we don't want anything like that to fucking happen. I said, that's careless. So I'm coming to pick whoever up. We'll figure this out. Because my sister's truck was here as well. We all have trucks, apparently. So I came, my brother jumped in with me. I had to clean all my truck out because I have clothes in there that I was supposed to donate traveling with me for fucking like 3 months now. So frustrating because I'm not going to donate to Goodwill, even though I purchase some things from Goodwill sometimes, but I'm not going to donate because I want the clothes to go to somebody in need. So I just emptied all my truck. Me and my brother took off and we got to the wedding on time. Everybody got there on time except a couple people because they had their own things, but I'm not going to get into that because that's not anything. The wedding was fantastic. It was beautiful. And I made the decision that I was going to have some drinks. I was like, you know what? I'm going to drink. But because I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, I can do it. This isn't my excuse for drinking. It's a happy occasion and it's a fun occasion and it's an open bar and I'm going to do it. So I had beer and then there was a point where I was like, I can stop now. But as an addict, I continued. I'm not feeling guilty about it. I don't feel guilt about it. I just feel like, okay, I could have stopped. And this was a lesson learned outside of I used to drink for depression, for fucking being sad, and we would just get fucked up all the time. And I'm sure you guys have heard those episodes of the podcast, shot about it, which we haven't had a new episode in like 2 years, I feel like, because two of us are pretty much sober and we don't feel the need to do that anymore. Maybe I'll find somebody, but I don't condone drinking like that, There have been people who have had podcasts or YouTube shows with drinking and they realized that they were binge alcoholics. So, these kind of things are not healthy. So this is not something I think we're going to continue on with shot about it. But I drank. I had a good time. I drank too much because the next morning I felt like shit. Well, 4 o'clock I felt like shit. 6 o'clock in the morning I felt like shit. 7 o'clock in the morning I felt like shit. I just stayed in bed and was like, I just don't want to feel this way anymore. This is why I don't get drunk. I can have a couple drinks and be fine, but I need to remember to stop. Because I had one drink on Tuesday for my cousin's birthday party. We went out to eat and I had one drink and I was fine. So I know that I could have one drink here and there. And then I had like one beer on Easter. So I know that I can do these things. It's just that I need to remember, hey, remember how you felt? You didn't like that. Don't do that. So I just need to remember that. So Friday was the wedding, yesterday was Saturday, and I was like, okay, I really need to do homework and I really need to get shit done. But my best friend's best friend from Idaho was in town and she's my friend. And I went over there and hung out with them. We went antique shopping and stopped different places and she made dinner. We watched Strip Tease, or Showgirls, which is a horrible film. I don't even know how to explain. Like, it's understandable the way that she was feeling and why she was acting the way that she was, but is it horrible acting or is it like, is it a good movie? I don't know. It was really hard to watch. And like the rape scene I don't even remember the rape scene. I think we were watching the NC-17 version. It was just hard. And I was just angry about it, but I was like, I don't remember any of these things happening in the movie. And I remember more sex between Gina Gershon, but then I was like, I don't know, but Gina Gershon played a lot of queer characters and she slept with a lot of women in a lot of different movies. So maybe it's a different movie that I'm thinking about with Gina Gershon. So yesterday I hung out with them. I left and then I came home, went to bed because I was like, I need to go to bed. Because my back is just still fucked. I have a muscle spasm and like I keep hurting myself. So I need to figure something out. This week I need to go get blood work. So I need to decide which day I'm going to go get blood work and I need to get it done soon. I think they're testing they're checking my diabetes and if I have a rheumatoid arthritis or whatever, because my body's all fucked as I'm getting older and I have to accept it and I need to fix it. So I'm still on this journey doing it and finally getting into doctors and being able to do it. So this morning I started doing my laundry. I went through the stuff that I had to take out of the truck and I decided I'm not going to go and donate it anywhere. I just threw it in the front yard for gratis, which means free in Spanish. And, most of it's already picked up. I haven't checked in the past hour because I've been too busy cleaning. I did my laundry. My nephew, my godson, my brother-in-law, my sister came over so we could say goodbye to my nephew because he's going back to Japan, I believe, or North Carolina. He's stationed somewhere. So we said goodbye to him because he's heading back out. And then it was just a good fucking time. Easter was a good time. I had one beer. That was it. That's when found out I hurt my back, and I was like, I don't know what I did. And I was trying to pop it. I either heard it doing from that, trying to pop it, or I heard it from the anxiety attack. I don't know. But I am a little bit of a mess, but who isn't? So today I'm just trying to get cleaning done and homework done, and I'm hungry, and my family went out to eat, and I know I can't stop because I have the motivation to get things done, and I'm doing good. So what I have done, I put together a daily health checklist. I printed out a sheet with a checklist of things that I need to do every day. And so that's what I'm doing. And then I put on there Friday do laundry, Saturday to clean my room, because it's a constant thing, because when you are working from home and busy and stuck in your mindset and getting over trauma and working on healing, there's just so much. You're on the go, on the go, on the go. My mom even told me that I'm on the go, on the go, on the go, and I don't stop. But that's the way that I process things. And so I made a checklist of things to take care of myself. I put on there like take AM vitamins, eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, shower, homework 2 to 3 hours, take PM vitamins, read 30 minutes to an hour, play the guitar for an hour, write 30 minutes to an hour, exercise 30 minutes to an hour, and then bedtime. Then on Friday, laundry, Saturday, clean the room. So since Friday, I started this list, and I already see a big difference in the way that I am. Now, when I was younger, I used to do these things. I used to take care of myself a lot better, it feels like. Feels like I used to fucking have a lot more motivation. And of course I did, because I was younger and I had a lot more motivation. Once you get older, your body changes, your brain chemistry changes, everything changes. So, I have a book club, and I also have a accountable group online on Facebook. And I've been trying to stay off of my phone. The only time that I listen to my phone is when I listen to my book on tape, because I tried to read it. My brain just like wasn't working. And then I tried to listen to it, and I was like, this woman's voice is not, my brain doesn't like her voice. So I'm listening to it at 1.7. And then I also am reading, so I'm reading 2 books right now, or listening to 2 books right now, Unfuck Your Brain and The Idea of You. Unfuck Your Brain is for trauma. It explains everything about everything, and how to fix your brain, basically. And it's so good. And I've already learned so much just from listening to it for like a half hour. And The Idea of You is the movie that's coming out with Anne Hathaway. I decided to start a book club. It was like, hey, this is the first book. You don't have to do it. It's not mandatory. If you want to read it, read it. So, the friend from Idaho was in town, and she's already read the book, and I'm like close to halfway through the book, and we just discussed it last night. I left my book for my best friend to read, and I'm just going to listen to it, but it's going well. So the accountability is doing good, and it's all towards being healthy. And everybody needs to start somewhere, and I'm hoping that you join me on this journey. And if you need to communicate with me and discuss with me about certain things about your life, I am here. I'm ready and available. And so when I was talking to the doctor the other day, I said, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing certain things about me. And especially being in psychology class, when I read the things, and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds like me when I was a child. And these are the things that I'm experiencing, and I should go get checked. And as you guys know, I'm planning on checking to see if I have autism. And, but because of my masking my whole life, people are like, I don't know, but there are certain things that people say, and it really pisses you off. Like, oh, I wouldn't think of you as if you have autism, you're a high functioning autistic. Like, fuck you. It's a spectrum, and don't fucking, like, I have feelings, and this, like, I'm talking to you and explaining to you how I feel, and you're just fucking gaslighting me and saying stupid shit. So anyway, because a lot of people have said that, and it just makes me angry and frustrated. And I'm just like, just ignore it. Like, I have been learning you don't have to fucking argue with everybody. And I've been doing really good about it. If somebody says something I don't like, I leave it at that. Somebody says something online, I've been leaving it at that. So if you've been following me for a while and listening to me, Roosevelt Rebel, I was just like bitching about fighting with people online. And now I'm like trying to stay off the phone, trying to stop scrolling. Last week I was 2.5 hours less use of my phone. So that's good. I wish that they put in there Um, Also, I'm not even driving to work, so that could have been the 2.5 hours. So I get to work from home for right now, and I'm going to see what happens with the ADA, but we'll see what happens. But things are looking really good for me at work already. Let's start. Let's talk about that. I am very happy of where I am going. So, except for that whole little anxiety attack, um, that happened, and but it did not affect certain things. My so uh we get connected with one of our leads at work and we go over our QA. Like I hate QAs for one because I was past getting QA'd. Like I'd get hundreds on all my QAs and now I am on because I used to be tier 3. Now I'm back to tier 1 and you have to just move up and it's like, I'll be okay. Like I was like, I'm just going to quit. After this anxiety attack, I was like, maybe I should quit. Maybe I should get on disability, but it takes years for people to get on disability. And I don't want to be on disability. I don't want to limit myself. If it comes to that point, then I will. And you know what? And a lot of people think to themselves, well, if nobody's going to date me because of this, I'm at the age where I don't give a fuck about dating. I don't need somebody like other people need people. I don't. I am good alone and I'm good with in a relationship as long as I have a healthy partner, which it's been it's been quite a while since I've had a healthy partner, but um I know what I want and if I don't want it, then I leave it. Like I've been doing very well in the past um 10 years by leaving people if I'm not happy. So I'm on this beautiful learning healing journey. And so if somebody's going to love me, they're going to accept me for who I am with the bad. Because I saw somebody the other day post, because they're disabled and there's the good and the bad of being disabled. They're unable to work. They have, disability and their brain works a specific way and they're complaining all the time. Their body's always breaking down. They have to get fed through a tube sometimes, all this constant shit. So the person they got engaged to knew this about them and it was just too much for them. So they ended up breaking up. So for myself, I am establishing friendships first and then seeing where it goes because I'm not going to put myself in the position again to fucking ever feel like because I have issues that I'm a bad person or a horrible person or I'm not fit. And it's just because some people don't want those things and some people are very selfish and disgusting. And that's on them. And if they're making it work with other people, good for them. Either the person's fucking dealing with their bullshit or that it's actually working and it's healthy, but probably not. That's what we've learned from narcissist relationships. They're never going to be working. They just fucking deal with it. So anyhow, so that's what's going on in my life. And, so today I'm working on homework. I messaged the fam and was like, hey, can you please bring me food? I am hungry. So they went out to eat and I'm sad that I don't get to go, but I know that my motivation right now is to get shit done. So this little podcast right now is 23 minutes in as I sat down to do my homework and I was like, I need to check in and I'm going to have to put that on my list, aren't I? I need to add podcast. See me to me. But anyhow, I'm going to have to add that because on like my list of things to do, like maybe when laundry's getting done, I could do that on Fridays after work. But I really need to focus on homework. I should be graduating in December. Fingers crossed. But yeah, a lot has been going on, a lot of healing, a lot of sadness, a lot. Visiting my dad, all of us went to go visit him, at the cemetery. It's just a lot. And I know with these podcasts, there's some things that I'm sharing and some things I'm not sharing because, I don't know. There's sometimes you just don't feel the need. But this podcast is about my healing journey and about being healthy. Because we're on a mission. All of us are on a mission in our life. If you're even listening to this, you're on a mission to get healthy. And that's one thing that we all need to do is be healthy, especially after the pandemic. A lot of people haven't recovered. And it was funny. I'm going to just mention this real quick. This person I was in contact with recently told me that I don't see this. I seem like I would be an anxious person in bed. And I laughed and I was like, no, I'm not an anxious person in bed. I was like, I'm very confident in the bedroom, and and we just discussed partners and didn't name names or anything like that, of course, and just said, she's like, wow, I would never expect you to be that way. I'm like, well, I said, well, now that I'm older, and like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't know. Sex as you get older is different. And I've always been a person that has to have the intimacy with it. And I'm a demisexual, and I've been using that term for more than now the popular people. It's all popular within people now. But I've always been demisexual, where I needed to have an intimate relationship, communication with the person, and have actual feelings before I can sleep with them. But when I have that level with them, then we do whatever. And like, they're like, what have you done? And I've told them things that I've done. And she was like, what? I would never expect that. It's like, why? Like, it's sex. It's enjoyable. Maybe we'll do an episode about sex in a later episode. I'm writing that down right now. Sex episode. All right. But anyhow, my time is up because I do need to get back to homework. And I told myself in my head, either 20 minutes, 30 minutes stopping point, because you need to do your shit. You need to get your shit. So I'm putting on my notes, podcast, sex episode, and I will definitely have some guests on for that one. I already have somebody in mind. So I will reach out to them to see if they would like to be on this episode about sex. I do appreciate you listening to me. I know it's been a bit. And everybody gets busy, and especially with this podcast, it's and going to school. Once school is done and I decide if I'm going to go for my master's, we'll see what's going to happen. Maybe it'll be easier to get a master's than it is with well, I have been told that the master's is easier than getting the bachelor's. So, because there's a lot more writing with the bachelor's, and then with the master's, you're actually hands-on. So we'll see what happens. But I do appreciate all my listeners out there. My name is Tisa Beltran, Teresa Tisa Beltran, and this is Gordita on a Mission. And I appreciate you all out there. And I know I didn't use any of the sounds. I just realized right now I didn't use any of the sounds that I was using in the first couple episodes. I need to remember that. But I do appreciate you, and thank you for tuning in. Check me out on all the socials. Reach out to me if you would like to join any of these clubs. Right now they're private, but I'm thinking of possibly making it public so we could get more people in there to talk and need to have questions answered and all that good stuff. I just don't want people who shouldn't be trying to know about my life be up in my business. And if they're listening to this, they know who they are, and it's just narcissism, and just stop listening to me. And stop following me and trying to figure out who or what I'm doing. And if you think it's you, then it is you. If the shoe fits, All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Check me out on all the socials at Rebel Riot LLC, and have a good one. Love y'all. Bye-bye.